If I said to you, you are a genius and the world needs your contribution, would you believe me?
The diversity has always been a source of strength for this country, and that our children are actually better off, for example, if they learn to speak more than one language. And so that rather than trying to eradicate their language and eradicate cultural difference, I would think many schools would be better off if they figured out how to embrace those differences so that kids could be better positioned to participate in a world where increasingly the borders are not as important as they once were.
About every fifth grader can now have access to the same search engines as Bill Gates. They can work through the same professional tools, the same word processing tools. They can use the same music composition tools as professional musicians use. So this notion that anybody can have in their hands professional tools if they have access to technology.
And that's why this question, who owns the learning, intrigues me, because it's more about locus of control and how people relate to one another than applying 1,000 apps to a classroom.
That's what we have to do as we look at these Common Core State Standards. Each one of them can be looked at with a lens of the past or the lens of the future. And it's really important that all of us look at those standards with a lens to the future and think about how does this Common Core State Standard really play itself out when we're reading and learning and communicating online.
And the then Secretary of State for Education said to me, of course, the trouble about creativity is that you can't define it. And I said, no, I think the trouble is that you can't define it.
If we teach less, but teach more skillfully, actually our students will learn more, and will learn much more and much more happily.
Finland being there and showing that relying and trusting on teachers and building a kind of an equitable school system where everybody has an opportunity to be successful without reliance on standardized testing or competition or standardization or strong accountability. I think we wouldn't have this thing that I call global educational reform movement.
That the principals who have the biggest impact are the ones who, here's the phrase, participate as learners with teachers in moving the school forward.
We are stronger as communities when we trust each other, when we work together, when we are collaborative, when we're not isolated or at each other's throats.
I think 21st century, the true education model should be one that's called the entrepreneur-oriented model. We want to enhance every child's strength, not fix their deficit.
The kids learn in different ways. That some are more creative, some are more analytical, some are more practical.
You teach them about something in the past or the present, but you hope that your teaching will have the good effect of leading them into the world of possibility. That's where intelligence lies.